Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rick, your singing wealth coach. And today I want to talk to you about this idea. That's the idea of compounded interest. Let me ask you a question. If you had a choice of whether you can take a penny and have it doubled every day or $1,000 a day for 35 days, which choice would you make? Well, it seems like $1,000 makes sense because you have you'd have $35,000 after the end of 35 days. But if you're taking a penny, you have over $171 million. That's because the money compounded every single day. It's what compounded interest is all about. But today, that's not what I came to talk to you about. I came to talk to you about how you compound the interest in you, how to get people interested in you and what it is that you're selling, what it is that you're marketing, and what your ideas are. How do you get people interested in you, and how do you compound that interest? Okay, so there are three things that you have to do to get people interested in you and to compound this interest online. All right. The first thing that you want is you want to have content. Why is that? Because when you come up with really good content, it spreads exponentially when you have number two, really good distribution, meaning that people really like what you're doing or like what you're talking about, and you have the proper distribution to make sure that it goes clear across the globe. We are in the global age. Nobody should have a money problem in this global age who has any type of creative juices. There are four levels of value in the marketplace. The lowest level is the person that does the thing. That's the implementer. The second highest level is the person who works for other people, manages their businesses, so you make more money. You might make about $250,000 a year. The third level is where the real money starts. It starts with people who are communicators, because people still buy your stuff after you're dead and gone. Just like people who are still who are still listening to Michael Jackson's music, Prince's music, still watching the Black Panthers movies. And when you watch people reruns, that's communicators, people who do things one time, but it continues to circulate just indefinitely, and money is made every single time something circulates. So the communicators, the third level. The fourth level are creators. That's people who actually create the ideas and the trends that run the world. That's the highest level. We make between 100 million and we make between 100,000 and $100 million a year on average. Creators do. So you said, so what do I need to do for that to be my life, Ricky? Well, you're going to have compounded interest in what it is that you do. So let's talk about content for a second, for a few minutes. So content means that you come up with ideas, creativities, ingenuities that push people towards whatever your idea is that you're talking about. Content is the number one thing that YouTube is looking for. So for all of you all who are listening here on YouTube, let me explain some rules to you about YouTube and content. YouTube is so interested in content until they have spent billions of dollars to create algorithms that automatically promote you for whatever it is that you do. Here are the rules of YouTube. You need 1,000 people subscribe to your station before they'll start paying you money for your content. 1,000 people subscribe to your station. You need 4,000 hours worth of time watched on your station. And once you do that, boom, now they'll start paying you to have people watch your videos. Two things are going to happen when this happens when you're on YouTube. Two things are going to happen. Number one, they're going to give you money for because they pay people to watch your content, and then they interrupt them and with their ads. So they'll pay you because of the fact that people are being drawn to the ads that are being paid for. In other words, some people are paying for ads on YouTube based on your content because they see that you got a large crowd of people listening to you. So they want to run ads on your content. So YouTube allows people to do that. And what happens? They pay you some of the money that they earn from the ads that people paid. Now I just got a $40 check from YouTube. Well, I don't think I actually got it yet, but I just noticed that I have $40. Why? Because I have a young station on YouTube. You say, what do you mean, Ricky? I thought you've been doing videos for quite a while. But yes, YouTube wasn't really a focus before. So now we're live on YouTube pretty much 7 days a week. Why? I'm teaching you what we're doing so that you can do the same thing potentially and create compounded interest in whatever it is that you're moving, or whatever it is that you're selling, or maybe just an idea or some type of ministry or some type of passion that you have, some type of purpose that you have that has nothing to do with money, but you still want to get everybody's compounded interest. Why is this important? Because YouTube has billions of people searching on it every single month. Billions of people searching to try to find out what you're talking about, if they are interested in who? In you. And if you have some content that you've created that's creative, that has ingenuity that's involved, that has if you're using your spectacular mind chances are there are millions of people who are, and maybe even billions of people who are already interested in you. They just don't know who you are. So in order for you to create some compounded interest, then create something that people may have interest in. You say, Ricky, I don't really know how to create things. No, everybody knows how to create things because we were all born in the image of God. And God gave us all the ability to create because God is omnipotent and omnipotent. He continues to create. And because he continues to create, and he's creative by nature, that means that you have a creative nature inside of you. The question is not whether or not you have a creative nature. The question is whether or not you're using it. And if you want to get wealthy and come off of these jobs and stop wasting your time and working all night and working all day and make it just a few dollars like the implementer does, then it would behoove you, it would behoove me to become what? Amazingly creative. Just try stuff and see how it works. You have absolutely nothing to lose but the time that you was already losing anyway with the slave job that you're working. All right, so here's YouTube. And YouTube says, listen, if you would bring us some good content and people watch what you do to the tune of 1,000 people getting on your YouTube channel, and then also having 4,000 hours worth of watch time, then we'll start paying you for the content that you bring to the table. Now that's just a chump change. Where the real money comes in is the fact that YouTube says, listen, not only will we pay you for your content, actually pay you money out of our pocket, but we'll also draw people to you who are looking for you. Are you listening to me? So if you want, when you're dealing with YouTube and you're trying to get compounded interest in what it is that you're doing, then all people have to do is watch your videos. And if they look at least 40% of your video and you get 40% of your video watch, then YouTube starts paying attention to you. All right. That's why your video should be between 8 and 12 minutes, like this training video that I'm doing with you now, because people are likely to watch a video, at least 40% of it, if it's between 8 and 12 minutes. Where you say, Brother Ricky, I follow you all the time, and you preach pretty much every day for an hour. Yeah, I preach every day for an hour because before anything else, I'm a preacher. Before anything else, I'm a teacher. Before anything else, that's my passion. Before anything else, that's what God told me to do every day I get up. So I live in my purpose every day, and I cannot not do that. I don't care if you buy nothing or don't buy nothing. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to teach you about the Bible anyway, because that's what Rick, the wealth coach, is all about. The word of God. That's my MO. So if you're down with that, cool. If you're not, then I still love you. But that's my MO. You dig? And it ain't gonna never change. I'm gonna add something to it before I take something away. So what's my point? My point is that if people believe in that and they like the word of God, then you can talk for an hour and people will be glad to listen to you. But what I'm suggesting to you is that the way that YouTube looks at it is that if you get people to watch at least 40% of your video, they'll start shooting people at you where? From clear across the globe, because YouTube is doing business what? Clear across the globe. I want to invite you out of your backyard, and I want to invite you into what? The real world. The real world is not in your backyard anymore. The real world is big, large, huge, gigantic. And if you have some creativity and something that people are absolutely positively already looking for, YouTube will find them for you. So that's why I highly recommend that you do things on YouTube. It should be, my mentor, Myron Golden, is the one who got me, thinking this way, because I asked Myron last year. I said, Myron, what's the number one thing you're going to do different last year than what you've been doing before? He said, I'm going to really start paying attention to YouTube. So if you look at Myron Golden's YouTube channel, it went from 10,000 people last year in April to what we're just a year later here. And he has hundreds of thousands of people now that follow him because he made it his intention for so. And his, naturally his millions have increased to multi-millions because he's a very smart man, very wise person, has amazing content. If you don't know Myron Golden, living his life like he golden, I highly recommend you follow him because he's an amazing man, a tremendous coach, and you'll make a lot of money just paying attention to him and taking his good advice. So what's my point? My point is this. This is the beauty of YouTube. YouTube will help you get compounded interest. It'll be people from all over the world interested in what you're doing. You say, Ricky, it could take me forever to get 1,000 people subscribed to my station. Yeah, it will take you forever if you never start. In other words, that means that you ain't gonna never get nobody. It'll take you for never. Are you listening to me? It's better to have something take you what people call forever than to have something take you in reality for never. Some people, you just gonna never get what you're supposed to have. Why? Because you never start nothing. Are you listening to me? So I'm recommending to you, if you have any type of personality at all, anything to talk about at all, anything at all, any kind of good content that the world should be getting, then I highly recommend that you start going live on YouTube, sending your content out on a regular basis so that people can find out what you're doing. All right. And you have a lot of stuff that people are talking about around the world today. They ain't even talking about nothing. So if you got something that's really worthwhile and something that's going to bring a tremendous utility to the people that listen to you and they hear what you're talking about, then YouTube is absolutely positively a great place to do that, because they will create compounded interest in what you're doing. So that's number one. The number one thing about getting rich online today and getting people to know who you are and creating compounded interest is have some content that people find worth coming to. Then the second thing is distribution. How do you get this content distributed so that people know who you are to create what? Compounded interest. Well, again, I'm just going to stick with YouTube. YouTube takes your information and it distributes your video in front of all millions and millions and millions of people, even billions of people who are already looking for you. Let me explain something to you about business, how it's done today. Stop soliciting people. It is totally unnecessary and it doesn't work. And it's old fashioned. It's the old way of selling. It does not work in this time and era that we're in. People want quality today. All right. You just work on quality and then you make sure that it's distributed for you. If your stuff is good, YouTube will distribute it for you. You don't have to distribute it. Proper distribution is the second part of this wave of multimillionaires that's taking place right now as we speak. And if you got great ideas and everything, I would not let that job hold me down all day, all night long. And I would definitely stop doing all the other stuff I'm doing, all this entertainment, anything that would slow me down from creating something. I would just exit out of my schedule if I was you. Why? So that people can get what? Compounded interest in you. Because chances are you got something that we all really need to be knowing about. We just don't know who you are. And you just haven't put in your work to make sure that we find out who you are. And you're letting the start stop you. Don't let the start stop you. Okay. How in the world are you going to get good at something that you haven't even started? So number one, good content. Number two, proper distribution. And then number three, things go viral. And then once something goes viral, it's been one. Are you listening to me? I got a friend named, well, he's not really a friend, but a young man that I met at Funnel Hackers Live a few years ago when I first met Myron Golden. And this young man's name is Prince EA. And he made a video called Roll, Roll, Roll Your Boat. And it's on YouTube, Prince EA. Check out his video. It's not very long, 3 minutes or something like that. This young man, at the time that we met him, had over 3 billion views of his videos. Obviously, his videos had some good content in them. And this is something that you can do at home. It's not something that you got to be rich to do or have a whole lot of equipment to do. Naturally, you might want to make sure you edit the video a little bit here and there and all of that sort of thing. But don't let the start stop you. Don't be trying to get your stuff all perfect and all of that. Just go ahead on and start giving it a shot. And then you'll find out if people have some interest in your content. Then YouTube will let you know because they'll start distributing it. And then finally, if anything goes viral at all, now you're in a whole different situation than you were just the day before. See, this wealth is not like the old wealth. This wealth is you can be doing something today, it goes viral tomorrow, and then your whole life changes. All right, this is Brother Rick. It's been a plum, pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about that. And remember that stellar is as stellar does. Have a phenomenal day, and may the Lord compound interest in you. Have a beautiful day. God bless you.